All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Iconics Video Games channel, and welcome to Good Morning Xbox. I am your host, Axel1324.
And I'm Cool Cat Terry.
That's right. That's right. We are a crew of two today,
Yes.
as Dripple is out. So, let's get it going though. Terry, what did you play this week?
I think I was just a little bit of SnowRunner, but it was mostly just car stuff. Honestly, I had a horrific ordeal. It was a rough week. It was a very rough week. Oh man.
No, did you do your what was it you were gonna do? Something to do with your manifold or something?
So yeah, I removed the intake manifold so that I could access the water pipe and like there's some special like coolant pipes that are underneath. So I was getting geared up to go and replace those pipes, this last week here, and well, to do all my maintenance, I have to disconnect my battery because I had to, disconnect fuel lines and stuff, and you don't want, fire. So, but I have a BMW, and my battery's in my trunk. So
your battery's in the what?
The battery is in the trunk of the car, not under the hood. So I was also storing all of my brand new parts in the trunk of the car, and I inadvertently closed the trunk of my car, which means I can no longer open the trunk of my car because the battery's in the trunk of the car. So instead of fixing the pipes, I had to drill a hole into the trunk of my car so I could get a screwdriver in there to jimmy the lock to open the door. So not happy. But the good thing is the hole's behind the BMW emblem, so once I put the emblem back on, no one's going to see it. But so yeah, instead of fixing my car, I had to break into my car. So that set me back, and then I also had to do the transmission fluid change on our SUV. And GMC and Chevy, in their wise wisdom, they go and they have the exhaust pipes wrapped right over the top of the oil pan. So it took me over 6 hours to take the stupid thing off and put it back on because you have to sit there and try to pry the exhaust down enough to get enough room to slip the pan out. And it was just a nightmare. I hated it, and I never want to do it again. And I curse the engineers at Chevy and GMC for not having the exhaust further back. So curse you guys. Nonsense. Should have been a simple 30-minute job, and it took me all day.
So fun. So I've been playing, of course, Diablo, trying to get through the story. I tried a new build, which made it much more fun than what I was trying. It's not as tanky as my other build, but it does a lot more damage, so it doesn't matter. So I don't need to just stay still and tank damage. And this build, it's actually very important to move around. And I'm like, oh, thank God, a mobile druid build. It's like a poison crit shred build.
Okay.
Where I basically, the druid has a lot of passives, apparently, that trigger off of poison. Right? Crit passives. So I'm just building should I put this weapon or that weapon on? Does it have crit? That's all I care about. Which one has crit? Because I'm only world tier 1, but I'm over here I think the highest I've hit somebody right now is 3,500 points, and it's a third of their life, a boss. And I'm just yeah, get shredded. So yeah, but I really like it. I am enjoying it a lot. So yeah. Let's check in with the chat real quick. Let's see. Back from the Dead joins us. Shout out to Back from the Dead. I heard Back from the Dead. I saw that Back from the Dead and Dreadpool were together. So yeah. Shout out to him. Doggy Dog joins us. Shout out to my buddy Doggy Dog 420. Thank you so much for joining us, Doggy. You are the real MVP. And back, you are also the real MVP. Your Wicked Hot joins us. He says, "Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Your Wicked Hot. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP." Princess Zelda is joining us. Probably still laying down in bed. Thank you so much for joining us, Princess Zelda. You are the real MVP. Get some rest. Relax. Lost Boomer joins us. Shout out to Lost Boomer. Thank you so much. You are the real MVP. And he says, "Hello, crew of two. Thank you so much. We appreciate you." And Graphic God is in. He says, "Good morning, fam." Good morning, Graphic God. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. So yeah, let's get straight to it then. What are we talking about first? We're talking about fake outrage. Fake outrage. So I know how much you love Starfield, Terry. You love it. Right. So IGN posted an article called Microsoft. I guess I can share it. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I can get my sharing together this morning. There we go. So Microsoft posted an article called Microsoft Reveals What to Expect from GamesCon. And I have no idea what this is.
You got all the ads right now.
There. I have, dude.
Do they have a read version? Do they have like a read-only version?
Yes, immersive reader mode.
There we go. Look at like everything going on.
Oh my god! It removed it though. It removed my my screen.
You must advertise the ads for them, man. That's what
you
they
gotta
want.
advertise. Here we go. All right. So shout out to Shea Walker for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says, "Good morning. I've been slowly working my way through Diablo 4 Season Pass." And Jason Max joins us. He says, "Just remember, Xbox is #1. I haven't even started the Season Pass, and I don't know if I will. I might wait till like Season 2 or Season 3. Jago Kukin joins us. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, Jago Kukin. Thank you so much for joining us. We have Crazy Greek Dude joining us. He says, "Good morning." M Web Dave joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning. You guys are all the real MVP because we wouldn't have this show without you guys. We appreciate you guys. By the way, guys, be sure to give the show a thumbs up. It really helps us get discovered, especially on the live feeds on YouTube. And also be sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed. We really appreciate you. We're on the road to 500. We are a little under halfway there, but I really want to hit that. Really would love to hit it. Be sure to share it out. All right. So IGN published an article called Microsoft Reveals What to Expect from Xbox at Gamescom 2023. And up first with the negativity, as always, as per IGN editorial requirements are, you must start with the Xbox bashing first and foremost. And it says Starfield isn't playable. Now, this set off some bells in the Twitter sphere. If you are on Twitter, I know some of you aren't. And people started saying, Xbox isn't marketing Starfield. What are they doing? It's less than 30 days out. Why isn't it playable? Oh man, does this spell trouble for Starfield? It's the next Cyberpunk. Blah, 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 blah. But people are very, very upset that they won't get to play their Starfield at GamesCon. The 10 gamers and like 18 journalists that wanted to get their hands on it early. Terry, are you outraged? No. How dare they?
How dare they? No, I'm not outraged. I mean, being able to go to GamesCon would be, it's itself, an awesome thing to do. So, so I would just be grateful to be able to be there, let alone being worried about what games are, provided there. I mean, I don't know. I feel like if this game doesn't have to be there, they don't want it there. So, they want you to all experience it together on release day, Except for like the slight few that they'll give an early copy to for reviews.
That's right. $300 gets you in, boys and girls.
Yeah, so if you're part of one of the big journalist companies to where you can play it for a review thing, then you can stop whining. But otherwise, yeah, just wait till it comes out. Like, I don't know, like when I don't know. For me, like I've gone to a couple conventions and I go for the experience, not so much like like I went to TwitchCon one year. And yeah, there was a lot of games you could test out, but I didn't go there because I wanted to play games. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. Like, I feel like if I was going to go to GamesCon, I mean, yeah, games is on the title. It's GamesCon, but I mean, I want to see what we don't know about. Like, we know about Starfield. We know it's coming. So, I mean, I would go there because I would want to learn more about what they're not telling the public everywhere else, kind of learn more about what's going on with the companies and what their vision is and things like that, not so much testing the game out, because I'll play it if I'll play when it comes out. It's not going to kill me to wait for release day. Like, heaven forbid you have to wait for release day. But I don't know, like, so it's one of those things where I've said multiple times that gamers are petulant, greedy, impatient children. They want everything now, and then they whine and throw a tantrum when they don't get things their way. And then when they get things their way, then they're still not happy because now they want to, move that goalpost. Well, now we want this. It's like, so like, I don't know, like,
yeah. I just about was like, you gotta be kidding. How's this even news? In my head, right? And so I did post a reply. There was a Twitter guy named Rhino, I believe was his name. And I posted a reply to his post about this. And all I asked was like, have you posted anything about Sony not being at GamesCon? Right? Because they're not even showing up. But as I said, it is the requirement to be negative to Xbox, right? So I was just like, you got to be kidding me, man. No, nobody... GamesCon, I don't know if it's how open to the public it is. I know it's more open to the public than E3 is. And that it is famous for demos, but I don't think a game that's about to release needs to demo. Starfield should have probably demoed like a year ago, right?
Yeah.
But right before release, I don't think is something, like I want to demo games that are coming out next year that are in terrible states because I want to laugh at it. That's just me. But some people just want to run this. But the fact that people went on with this outrage, like it comes out in less than 30 days, it must be in a bad state. Blah 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 blah.
And majority
it makes your
of the
head
people,
spin
though,
of the narrative spins.
But like the majority of the people mad that it's not there aren't even going. You're not playing it either way.
That's right. Those guys weren't going to play it anyway on Twitter.
They weren't going.
You weren't going to be there.
Why are you mad about not playing a demo that you're not going to play because you weren't going to be there?
Yeah, you're mad that the demo's not playable, even though you weren't going to be there to begin with.
People,
like, it just, like I said, it just makes your head spin. How I don't even know what the word is. The fake outrage, the narrative spinning, the mental gymnastics that these guys must go through to like, what can I do to be pissed off at Xbox today? I woke up too happy this morning.
Too happy.
And you know what? I gotta tell the world that Xbox sucks somehow. I really feel that that's how they wake up. Like, Xbox hate lives so rent free in their head that they just come up with stuff. And I don't know how that works. Like, I am such a happy gamer. I don't care what I play on as long as I'm playing, because I'm so happy to play games. I always have been. I've always considered myself very fortunate to be alive during this time because Lord knows I didn't want to be born 100 years ago farming. That's not happy. I'm happy I'm living today with electricity and playing video games. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like, if I go back to like the 1 year when I went to TwitchCon, back when I lived in California,
Yeah.
that was the year at that particular TwitchCon, Xbox was there and they were showing off Titanfall 2. And for me, I spent most of my time going between all the indie booths, and I found some pretty cool games going around the indie booths. And for me, I don't like long lines and stuff like that.
Right.
So I'm not gonna I'm gonna pretty much stay away from the places that had the longest lines, and the longest lines are gonna be games that everybody freaking knows about already. So Titanfall 2 is gonna have a long line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm not going to waste my time there. I'm there to try to experience as much as I can. And I can't do that if I'm spending majority of my time in one stupid line, I want to see as much as I can. All right. So screw that line. All right. So I don't know. For me, missing out on this, I'm not hyped for it anyway, but if I had the opportunity to go there and it was on demo, I probably, still wouldn't do it just because I would expect the line for this to be horrendous, and then they're going to want to try to get people through as quick as they can. So you don't get that much time to play. It's not like you can sit there and play to your heart's content unless you go to an indie booth where they don't have a lot of people. They'll just let you play, which is great. But something like this, you're not going to really be there very long to really kind of get a feel for the game. You're barely going to get a teaser. You know what I mean? Before they start moving the group on and keep getting to funnel people through. So I mean, I feel like you're not going to get the experience that you think you would get. It's just you're going to stand in line for 3 hours and you're going to get to play the game for less than 5 minutes. It's not worth it. So I don't know. I feel like people are getting all upset over nothing.
Well, of course they are. I wouldn't be getting it if they didn't.
I'm like, I don't want to spend 3 hours in line to play 5 minutes. I can see a lot of stuff there in that 3 hours. You know what I mean? So,
there was I remember reading something about when Breath of the Wild was coming out that the wait was like 4 hours long, and that they're only giving people like 10 or 15 minutes. Yeah. So that was one of the things. And I found my tweet. I'm not going to say who I retweeted it out because he probably copyright strikes everybody. He just seems like that kind of person. And my tweet says, does anyone know how big PlayStation's booth is going to be at GamesCon? Also, when will their key title Spider-Man 2 be playable to the public? And of course it has zero response, right? But it is what it is. Let's check in with the chat to see if they're outraged. Mostly lots of happy people saying good morning, which we love seeing. Let's see. Jason Max says, has IGN said anything negative about Sony not showing up at Gamescom? Of course. There's no Sony news. Sony doesn't do anything to be newsworthy.
Oh my gosh, bro.
I'm just saying, what is they doing? Of the 3 companies that are out there, Sony is the least active on social platforms. They release the least amount of information prior to their games coming out. They're not really a news-oriented company. Just being honest.
They don't need to be. The world revolves around them. They don't need to be.
Yeah, I guess when you're the de facto leader, that's what happens.
They're not starving for attention. They don't have to.
I don't know. They were in the news though this week for starting a riot in New York City.
Well, they didn't start the riot, but
a Twitch streamer started the riot. I don't know.
To be clear, Sony did not start a riot. No. All right.
He could get loosely connected with that whole, inciting a riot, which is illegal. But yeah, let's see. Jago Coogan also comes in. What's the point of a demo? What's the point in a demo at GamesCon? You couldn't even get through the character creator in the short time provided to play. Shaking my head, right?
They wouldn't even let you do character creation. They would skip it. They would have like a preset spot that they would have you run through.
I used to love character creation when I was younger, and now that I'm older, I freaking hate it.
Yeah, I don't waste my
spend
time
all
with
this
it.
time customizing my dude, moving his nose and ears.
I don't do any
this
of it.
template looks good. I just want to make sure he sounds this way.
All I care
And
about,
go.
I pick the gender I want, I pick the hairstyle and the hair color and the eye color, and that's it. Let's go. I want to play. Like, I don't care. Let's go.
That's right. Like the most, like I don't move their nose around. I don't move their
Yeah, I don't
eyebrows
do none
around
of
or
it.
anything. I'm just like, I want to get to the game. I don't care.
I'm gonna be
Especially in a
staring
first-person
at the
game like
back
this,
of
you're
my
not going to see
character's
yourself.
head majority of the time. I couldn't care less what their face looks like.
Right.
You know?
How does my butt look? Because that's what I'm going to be staring at the most.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. Gamers nowadays are too entitled. Yeah, I feel that. Between work and the games I already have, I've got enough covered until the end of the month. That's right, General Spartan. You got it. You're going to get that Starfield later. Starfield launches at the beginning of next month, so you got to get through those games, buddy. Get that Starfield. Are you going to play Starfield, Terry? Because I know you were on edge.
It's gonna be on Game Pass, so I'm gonna try it. And I keep saying I want them to change my mind. They need to convince me, but from what I've seen, they haven't done anything that convinces me. But hopefully, if I actually get to play it, because playing a game and watching gameplay are very different.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping once I'm hands-on, they'll change my mind, because I love RPGs, I love sci-fi, so please convince me. I want to like this game.
It's gonna be the greatest game ever.
You know, you can just add some takedowns, and I'll be sold. That's all I'm saying. That's all you gotta do. And get rid of the salvage yard ships. That's it. You know.
It's so fun. Like, I don't know. Like, I kind of want to experiment with how big can I create a ship, you know?
I can't with these hairs. Like that stuff is so cringy. Like I hate the character creation. They look so bad.
They look awesome.
The hair looks so bad. Like the mustache looks like it's floating on his lip.
That's a space mustache. That's a space stash.
It had anti-gravity stash.
That's right. Chair Walker says, Xbox Wire just posted about Wild Card Football. I saw that. It looks so cool. I cannot wait. Lost Boomer says, Sony is for the payers, not for the players. Oh, ouch. And Jago Cookin says 100% pre-check sold. That's right. Red Monkey Buck. Shout out to Red Monkey Buck. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says, I bet Starfield pre-order numbers are really, really good. They are. They are. It's still in the top 10 on Steam. So, yeah.
Except for the people who had theirs canceled because they put too many orders out. Sorry, folks.
That's right. And Jago Coogan's with you and I. He says, you pitch it to the guy who used default Commander Shepard in Mass Effect, Axel. Hey, that's right.
Only way to play.
The only way to play. There's Dreadpool. What's up, Dread? Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. We appreciate you. And let's see. Lost Boomer. I dread the pool. I love the pool. So there you are. So Sony IGN sparked some fake outrage. But Terry, we had a poll. How does the chat feel?
Are you outraged that Starfield's not playable at GamesCon? 50% said they can wait 30 days, and 50% just want to know where PlayStation's booth is at. No one gives a crap.
No outrages.
No one gives a crap.
No outrage. Just
when the game comes out,
I don't know what to call it.
So
like
happy.
fanboy narrative spinning.
I don't know.
Well, what would you call it? I
wouldn't even call it fanboy, because I feel like, from all the conversations we've had about Starfield, I would say majority of our regular chat base are all hyped for Starfield, and there's no outrage with them. So I feel like it's not the fanboys that are upset about it not being there. It's a nothing sandwich.
Do you think they made this up because they're missing out?
I don't know. I think they just wanted to, I don't know. I think it was just clickbait. They want something to talk about, so they're like, it's not playable. And people will, because people don't read the full article, they'll just read the headline. What? Starfield isn't playable? Like, what's wrong with it? You know, they just jump to conclusions because they don't read. But
right?
So yeah, no, I don't know. It's a nothing sandwich.
It's a nothing burger. Yeah. I cannot wait to get my hands on Starfield. To this day, I'm like, I haven't even started a new game because I don't want to get. I don't want to feel like I need to finish this game before I play Starfield. Like, if I finish playing the games I have, I might go like a week before of not playing anything, just to not start anything before Starfield gets here. And I checked on my special editions. Yes, that's editions with an S because I ordered from 2 different places.
He got a his and hers.
No, so I ordered from GameStop, but GameStop has still to this day not sent me a confirmation email. But I look at my GameStop account and it's still there. It's ordering all that good stuff, right? But then I check on Best Buy. They sent me the confirmation emails. They tell me, "Hey, yours is gonna arrive by September 1st." And I'm like, "Yes." So the reason I haven't canceled the GameStop one is, what if something happens to my Best Buy one?
So you're
Like,
holding on to it out of pure
but I am probably going to cancel
paranoia.
one of them, and it's whoever arrives last gets canceled. That's the rule.
But wouldn't it already be shipped at that point?
It should be. I mean,
because if one arrives, that means the other one, in theory, should be in the mail.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to cancel if it's in the mail.
I will cancel it in mid-delivery.
Mid-delivery.
I will be like one of those Uber driver or Uber people that cancel mid-trip. But you know, if I get both of them and somebody wants it, let me know. Dreadpole, looking at you. Dreadpole saying, "Axel holding on to the GameStop one for me." That's right. Minus shipping and handling.
As long as it doesn't do that scalping price, you know, like we're gonna add an extra $300 to it.
Well, what is the scalping price of Starfield Constellation Edition? Let me look. Let's look at the eBay, Terry.
The eBay.
That's right.
Okay.
The garage sale website. You ever watch Off the Boat?
No.
There's this guy who keeps going on there, and he keeps having like he presents these really multi-million, like, you know, it's based in the past, so he's presenting these ideas in the worst way possible. And it's like, I'm gonna make a website where people can sell their stuff secondhand. It's like a garage sale website. It's not a garage sale website, man. It even has a great name. It's gonna be called eBay. That's never gonna catch. Nobody wants to sell their stuff online. And it's just so funny. And it's not just like that. He also came up with the idea of, you know, what if we could do everything that you can do at Walmart, but on the internet? You know, like Amazon. It's so funny. All right, hold on. Let me look. All right, Starfield Constellation Edition, scalping for $120.
So what's the retail price? What's the retail price?
$300.
$300. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it's scalping right now for $120 to $200 more than it should. Some people are getting desperate to sell. They're dropping their price to $380. $325, guys. $325. This guy's not trying to make a lot of money. Just $25. Oh, they're not getting anything because their ratings are 0%. Yeah, I wouldn't buy from a guy with a 0%.
He's a first-time seller, then yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy from you.
I would try, start with something smaller and kind of get a little bit of like some cred.
Yeah, not something
not something
like
big
a collector's
like
edition.
Yeah, sell some of your Warhammer figurines. You know.
So yeah, there it is. So it is selling online. Dreadful Paul. I've already claimed it weeks ago. No scalping price.
Nice.
It could be yours for the low price of $499.99 plus shipping and handling.
Plus shipping and handling.
That's right. Even at $500, I'm not including shipping.
Battery's not included for that watch.
Battery's not included. I will remove the battery out of the Constellation watch just to be petty. Oh my goodness, so funny. Let's see. That's not worth scalping once eBay takes the cut. Yeah. And shout out to Splendiferous. He joins us. He said, Axel, yo, guys, I just started my e-commerce store and I have my first product for sale, guys. Support your boy if you like my design. This is the first of many to come. Yeah, shout out. Check out Splendiferous store. Let's see. I'm kind of curious
selling?
to see what it is.
What you selling?
What is he selling? Let me find him on Twitter. Maybe he posted a link. Let's see. No, not Splenda. Splenda. Oh my god. Freaking what was his name? Shaddai said, "Yo, Splenda, you tasteless sugar." I just about died. That's one of the best birds I've heard in a while. Oh my god. I don't see you on Twitter. Are we friends on Twitter, Splendiferous? Splen. There he is. Okay, I was spelling it wrong. And there is no link on your Twitter, so I don't know about your website, buddy. So yeah.
Gotta work on that, promotion and stuff. You gotta make it easy for people to find stuff, man.
That's right. All right. Shall we move the show along, Terry?
Yes.
All right. So 2023 has been a fire year, Terry. We have Hi-Fi Rush, yes. Game of the Year contender. Hogwarts, Game of the Year contender. To Princess Zelda, probably the Game of the Year because she loves Harry Potter. We have Breath of the Wild, not Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, the Game of the Year, in my opinion.
It probably will get Game of the Year. I don't think has a Legend of Zelda game ever not got Game of the Year. Like I feel like it always does.
It always does because it's a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Then we have. There's been another game outside of those that have been. Let's look at the highest rating. Let's go to Open Critic instead of trying to memorize this stuff. Last year we only had 2 90 ranked games. This year we have a couple of 90s ranked games. But let's see. Popular games. Where is the highest rated games of the year?
Evil West is still my personal pick for Game of the Year.
Which one?
Game was Evil West. That game was awesome.
Evil West. Okay. Did that come out this year?
It came out last year, but it came out after the deadline. Mm-hmm. So it couldn't compete last year. So it should be in the running this year. If they don't forget about it, because that's the bad part, coming out like a week after the deadline. No one's gonna remember you for the following year.
Yeah. Nice. Let's see. So Tears of the Kingdom, 96. Metroid Prime Remastered, 94. Resident Evil 4, 92. Baldur's Gate 3, 92. Tents and Trees, whatever the hell that is, 92.
That sounds inappropriate.
Yeah.
All right.
Street Fighter 6, 92. 8-Bit Adventures 2, 91. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed, which is a DLC, a 90. Jack John, 90. Let's Revolution, 90. And then you have
I haven't even heard
high
of.
80s. You got Path of the Midnight Sun, Hi-Fi Rush, Dead Space, Dave the Diver, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 16, Vernal Edge, Pikmin 4, Gravity Circuit, and Dead Cells Return to Castlevania DLC on there. So, I mean, it is a stacked year. And of course, Hogwarts is up there as well. Where is Hogwarts? What did it get? What page is it on? 84. Hogwarts sitting pretty at an 84 on Open Critic.
And what was the rating for Zelda?
It's the highest rated game of the year right now at 96.
Dang.
I mean, tying the highest rated game of all time, Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I heard didn't they just sell like 18 million copies too?
Yeah, and that's a down year for them. But in comes Baldur's Gate 3, the newest contestant to the Game of the Year talk. And I'm going to let you take this away because I feel like you are more a professional.
I'm more of a professional
on these style of games.
Ugh.
So this is made by Lariat, who made Divinity, Original Sin 1 and 2.
Yes. So I don't really know what you want me to talk about, but okay. So we got Baldur's Gate 3. And so for those who don't know, this is based on Dungeons and Dragons. I think they're following, or something. I don't know. I don't play tabletop D&D, so forgive me. I don't know all of the ins and outs, but they got all their permission from Games Workshop. I believe it was Games Workshop does D&D. Who does D&D?
Yeah.
Not Games Workshop. Is it Games Workshop? No.
I thought it. Yeah,
no.
Games Workshop. Yeah.
Is it?
I think so.
I don't know. Oh, somebody else. Maybe somebody else. Whoever the people are in charge of D&D. I don't think. No, it's not Games Workshop. They do Warhammer. I'm sure there's at least 10 people in the chat that play D&D, so someone can correct me. But whoever they are, they got their blessing. They got their blessing to make sure that their game is properly follows all the rules and things for D&D. So if you are someone who plays D&D, then this is going to be a game for you. Okay, they're going to have all the same, the races and the rules for combat and all that stuff are going to apply. So you gotta go ahead and check it out. And as someone who has played Divinity: Original Sin, that game is phenomenal. I absolutely love that game to death, and it's definitely something that everybody should play. And it does have co-op. I don't know if I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to have co-op. I think was it or no? Is it just single player?
It is. It is co-op, which is a big reason why it's not on the Xbox right now.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Good. I was going to say because the Original Sin had co-op, and that just made the game. All right, it needed it. So yeah, no, this is gonna be fantastic. I'm excited. You can't go anywhere right now without seeing news on this. Like whenever I scroll through game news, it's either Diablo 4 news or Baldur's Gate 3 news. It's like pretty much all there is. So I'm excited for it. It should be a good time. So if you're into like your fantasy RPGs, this is gonna be a good run. And I really don't know what you want me to say, but it's gonna be great. But it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited.
Yeah. So it's a fantastic game. Of course, it's got a staggered launching on Steam first, including the Steam Deck, which the Steam Deck is not very powerful. Hint, hint, wink, wink. But I don't know who's going to be playing co-op off their Steam Deck either.
No.
In a month, it launches. It's scheduled to launch on PS5. So in September, it's going to be PlayStation 5. And then sometime in 2024 on Xbox.
Yeah.
They didn't even say.
I know there's some outrage about it not being on Xbox at launch or whatever and stuff. But to be fair, Larian, all of their games that Larian has made that have eventually come to Xbox, they've always come to Xbox last. So I see this as another nothing sandwich. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like they, that this is like something that it's not like it's always been on Xbox on release, and then all of a sudden now they're like, no, we're not going to release it on release day, and we're going to, keep your version off longer. They've always had us last. Primarily their games are always PC, and then they get ported to console, usually 1 to 2, I think it's usually around 2 years later. So the fact that it's coming to Xbox at all is all I care about. So it's all good because they always just focus on PC first. So I have no outrage about it being postponed a little bit for the Xbox version.
Okay. So shout out to so this is gameplay from a channel I go to often. It's Shirako on YouTube. Guy has 1.97 million subscribers. He's huge. This is his gameplay. His watermark is right here. You can clearly see it. Shout out to him for on this gameplay. So always want to give credit where credit is due, guys. Baldur's Gate 3 is definitely up my alley. One, it's a tactical RPG. I love tactical RPGs. I'm getting Wasteland 3 vibes, probably more complex than the Gears Tactics. And of course, Larian, Divinity Sin 1 and 2, hard until you figured it out. And the combat was also hard. And it's just one of those games that you can't just go in there and
don't do fire.
Yeah. You can't go in there without thinking about it. Like, it is definitely a thinking game, and you can draw cards and draw rolls. Like, it is so cool. Everything I've seen on Baldur's Gate 3 makes me want to play it, and I don't know if I'll wait for the Xbox version of it. But I do want to wait for the Xbox version of it because I want to think that it will be a play anywhere title, possibly, where if you buy it on Xbox, I can get it from the Windows Store as well, so I can get both PC and Xbox versions at the same time. But FOMO has hit, and I know that this game's like at least 100 hours long, and I'm like, but Starfield's right around the corner. Right. But Renegades Studios has always done staggered launches, as you said Terry.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that's really appropriate anymore, as life has moved to more, launching on everything all at the same time. Especially when you launch a game and it's so good, because now everybody has FOMO. And what if I'm a console only player, right? Like, it should launch on everything. That's all I'm saying. And of course, the staggered launch, people are saying that it's a PS5 exclusive, and I'm like, no, it's not. Right? Again, the twisting of the narrative, right?
Yep.
Renegades Studios has flat out said there's no exclusivity deal of any kind right now on this game.
It's they're saying it's an unofficial exclusive because it got postponed for Xbox. Therefore, PlayStation's the only console getting it. Therefore, it's an unofficial exclusive. But,
yeah, and the reason that's given also, like, it also feeds the console wars, because they're saying, they're having trouble optimizing for the Series S. Right? Which I don't know what's happening with the Series S. Maybe it doesn't have enough RAM. I would think it's the RAM bottleneck more than anything, because the processor's fine. The graphics processor's fine. I mean, it has all the cores that you need to do what it needs. I'm going to guess it's a RAM issue. Right? If it's a RAM issue at all. But I wanted to point out, so you're going to see my Steam here, guys. How do I share this Steam window? I guess I have to stop the window. Hold on. So you guys are going to see my Steam window here. Add. All right. So I want to scroll down to system requirements. It requires an Intel i5 4690 or an AMD FX 8350. FX. Terry. Not even an RX. Okay, not even a Zen 2 or Zen 3. An FX. That's like a 20-year-old chip. 8 gigabytes of RAM. A NVIDIA GTX 970 or an RX 480. Okay.
Wow, my old laptop can play it.
My current laptop blows these requirements out of the water. Of course, recommended you got an AMD R5 and an RX 5700 XT. Right? But still not a lot. That's not heavy lifting. I'm sorry I can't zoom it in. I don't know how to make this bigger. Does the Windows G thing still work for magnifier? Nope, that's a game bar. Okay. What is the magnifier in Windows? And magnifier. Oh my goodness. Can you guys see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, not a lot of requirements here, right? I don't know how to get out of this magnifier.
Now you're stuck in it.
I'm stuck.
I do see that it says SSD required. And when you think about a PC or a laptop that's got those old that old processor and that old graphics card, those aren't going to have an SSD.
Yeah. So I guess just get yourself one. But then I want to move over to maybe a more graphically intensive game, right? Like, I don't see how these requirements, because the Xbox Series S is more powerful than this. Just flat out. It is. So it's obviously not anything that Renegades Studios is going to struggle with to port it. I think it's just not on their priority list. Right? For better or worse, it's just not on their priority list, which to me is worse. Right? it does upset me though that it's like if it was like 1 month, 1 month, 1 month, that's fine. But I feel like they don't even say Q1 2024. They don't say Q2 2024. They say 2024. It could be next September when we finally get this game on Xbox. And by then, everybody who really wants to play this game would have played it. I don't believe anybody will wait that long. Do you think people will wait that long, Terry?
Yeah, I mean, I did. I waited that long for Divinity Original Sin 2. It came out on PC first. I had to wait 2 years before Xbox got it.
2 years.
I waited.
2 years.
Because I didn't want to buy it on PC because the only people that I had that would have played it with me were all on Xbox. So there was no point in me getting it for PC. So I waited. So yeah.
2 years. Chat, let us know if you would wait 2 years. You know what? The chat, let us know. All right. Terry, if we had a poll asking the chat when they would get it.
Are you going to play Baldur's Gate 3? Another 50-50 split. Okay, 50-50 split between, yes, when it comes out in 24 for the Xbox, and another 50% have zero interest.
That's not what it says, Terry.
I'm not saying it. It's a PG channel.
Yeah. So yeah, and Doggy brings up the next point. This game comes to PS5 same day as Starfield releases, and a few weeks before MK1. It won't sell on PS5 despite them all acting so hyped for it. I don't know.
This is a good point. Well, no, I don't know, because those people aren't playing Starfield. I mean, the ones that have both consoles, yes, but the majority that are just solely on PlayStation, they're not playing Starfield, so they might play it. If they can tear themselves away from Call of Duty long enough.
Oh, time for my ad. Because I'm not paying for YouTube Premium.
One of the things, though, that I see now, I understand everybody wants everything to release at the same time and get it all, because everybody they want it now. For me, I see it as a blessing, because when it comes to games like this, there's always bugs and issues and things like that. So I kind of like it coming out on PlayStation first, because this way they can see what kind of performance issues they have on that console, so they will have a better way to be prepared for it when it comes to Xbox. And they can try to get a lot of that stuff patched out, which I think will be great, because I think like Wasteland 3, man, that game was a broken mess when it came out. It was a fantastic game, but man, it had a horrible launch. So let everybody else deal with those problems and give us a little bit more of a patch polish version. It's worth the wait for me.
Right. And Lost Boomer says, I thought it was on Switch 2. Am I thinking something else? Divinity Original Sin and Original 2 eventually came to the Switch. So yeah. Let's see.
This would be such a hard game to play on the Switch.
Right. It says, I read something about they're having trouble getting split screen working on Xbox Series S or something like that. It's not split screen. It's just co-op. It has nothing to do with split screen. It's just co-op. Same screen. Very much akin to Wasteland 3 or Divinity Original Sin.
Yeah.
But it's the couch co-op that I think they're having issues with, not the online co-op.
Oh, they could just take that out. I feel like people aren't going to be as mad about couch co-op not being in the game. Most people are going to be playing online.
Yeah, this is another Game of the Year entry, and again, I don't know if I feel that this is the first true threat to Tears of the Kingdom winning Game of the Year. But do you think that this will tear away from people wanting to play Starfield? Or do you think that this game is so dang impressive that Starfield won't be as impressive as they think now? Like, do you think the hype or this game moved the needle so much that Starfield will move down if it doesn't live up to what this is?
No, honestly, I don't think this impacts Starfield at all. They're so different, gameplay wise. Like, a lot of people that are excited for Starfield aren't going to play this because the style is so different.
It is.
So it's again, I don't think they correlate at all. Outside of them being RPGs, but still, like they're very different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Starfield is a Bethesda RPG, which Bethesda has its own flair now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Starfield is on a different level than this game, not as in better, but just a different, I guess, a different gaming spectrum. Starfield is going to have actual combat, not turn-based, real-time combat. Starfield is going to have an exploration aspect that this game kind of doesn't.
Yeah,
right?
it's like trying to compare Wasteland and Fallout. They're very different.
Yeah, those are two very different games. Yeah, or like Wasteland to Diablo or something, whereas Wasteland is turn-based RPG like this, tactical based. Diablo is an action RPG. So yeah, I think. Do you think Starfield will still be in the Game of the Year contender run here come September?
Probably not. Only because games like this tend to never get noticed for stuff like that.
So you don't think Starfield will get noticed?
No, I don't think Baldur's Gate will get noticed for Game of the Year because tactical RPGs they're fantastic games, and if you're into them, they're so freaking fun to play. But no, I don't think I've ever seen a game like this ever get nominated for Game of the Year. People tend to focus more on their third-person action adventure games.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. All right, so I'm going to go to Divinity Original Sin 2, and this is off the Wikipedia page. Divinity Original Sin 2 got a 93 meta. A 93, right? That's pretty damn good, right? And it sold 1 million copies. And the nominations for the Game Awards were Best Role-Playing Game, Best Narrative Design, Best Adventure Role-Playing Game, and it was also nominated for Game of the Year and Best Story, and was a runner-up for Best PC Game and Best RPG at IGN. So the Game Awards didn't nominate it for Game of the Year, but IGN did. So yeah. So Terry's right. You're right, Terry. Even at a 93, it didn't make the Game of the Year cut. Divinity Original Sin. Terry's right. So there you go.
As much as people rave about Diablo, I would be impressed if Diablo gets nominated for Game of the Year.
I don't think Diablo 4 will get nominated for Game of the Year.
I don't think it will either, because again, it's the same kind of, it's a dungeon delve,
but it's not in the Axel Awards. It won't.
But it just goes more to my point of much as it's taking over the gamer space right now and everyone's talking about it and playing it, they will immediately pass over it when it comes to Game of the Year. Because people are very biased when it comes to Game of the Year. They have their mindset on only certain things qualify, and you can spend your entire time playing nothing but Diablo 4, but then in the Game of the Year comes along, and all of a sudden you forgot that you played Diablo 4 all year long. It makes no sense. You forgot that you played Diablo 4. I put 1,000 hours in Diablo 4, and I spent 2 weeks playing whatever the big game was. That game's Game of the Year. Spent 2 weeks on it. That trumps, my 1,000 hours of Diablo 4. That's just how gamers are. That's weird.
Right? If gameplay hours equaled Game of the Year, Call of Duty would win every year.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's just weird because like Wasteland 3, if it had released to where it wasn't in a complete broken state like it was, it had horrific load times. I'm talking like you would start loading, you could go into the kitchen, make a sandwich, come back, and you're still loading. Okay? It had horrific load times. If that game had released properly, that would have been my Game of the Year that year when it came out. That game was that good. But even if it had released properly, that game never would have gotten noticed because people don't pay attention to stuff like that. Like everybody wants, your third-person narrative, action games.
Yeah, I remember Wasteland 3 was in the running for best RPG against Final Fantasy VII Remake, and of course Remake 1. So yeah. No lies detected, Terry. No lies detected.
It's one of those things, The only way a game like this would get Game of the Year is if they have a big franchise do it. So, like if they were to make a tactical RPG like this, in this style, for like Legend of Zelda, that one might be able to pull it off just because it would have the name to carry it.
They did Dynasty Warriors Legend of Zelda, and I love it. Yeah. It's called High Roll Warriors. It's one of my favorite games. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, so this game, it should be in the Game of the Year conversation, but there's so many good games this year. Some people are going to get left out, and I hate to say it, but I feel like Hi-Fi Rush is going to get left out. I'm sorry, Doggy.
Remnant 2 should,
Remnant
be
2 should
one.
definitely be in the conversation.
The first one was my Game of the Year for that year, and it barely, I think it got nominated for something, but it was one of those things that was like, it got passed over for everything, and it didn't get nominated for stuff that it should have. And that game definitely deserved more credit than it got. And I wouldn't be surprised if Remnant 2 gets passed over again, just because it's the game style. It's not the the stereotypical Game of the Year, style that everybody thinks of when they think Game of the Year.
Yeah, it's just Game of the Year conversation is so hard. It really is. What's your current Game of the Year right now, Terry?
I told you, Evil West.
Evil West. All right.
Evil West.
Guys in the chat, let us know what your current Game of the Year is. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. My current Game of the Year is easy. Tears of the Kingdom. No other game this year comes close to it. So far that I've played. Now I've missed out on a lot of Game of the Year candidates. Like I didn't play Hogwarts or some of those other Game of the Year contenders.
Yeah, I didn't play those either.
But and I'm not gonna... I have so much. I only have so much time. So yeah, this year I spent the first until Tears of the Kingdom came out. I spent my year playing Backlog. And then I played Tears of the Kingdom and Diablo, and I'm like, they're both good, but the more I played Diablo and the more I played Tears of the Kingdom, I'm like, Tears of the Kingdom is better. Yeah. But I really think Starfield is going to be the next big one for me. And shout out to Black Carter who joins us. Thank you so much for joining us. Black Carter, you are the real MVP. Doggy Dog says, Hi-Fi Rush says, but yeah, it's not going to get nominated, but it deserves it. Splendiference is going with Starfield. Sorry. Cool Cat Terry agreed. Evil West was awesome. We're going to have to do our own Game of the Year.
I'm one of those people, I will never nominate a game as a personal Game of the Year if I have not played it. So like Starfield, I haven't played it. Nobody really has played it.
It's going to be Game of the Year, Terry. You just don't know yet.
And they all said that about a lot of games, and like Cyberpunk and No Man's Sky. Those were all Game of the Year, guaranteed. Nope. So
guarantee it.
Guarantee it. So yeah, I will not ever nominate a game that isn't even released yet. Like no, like I can understand people being like, "It's going to be Game of the Year,"
It's certainly hype of the year.
Because of the hype level, but until the game is out, you really don't know. Because look at Cyberpunk.
I just cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Cyberpunk, it looked like a game that should have been Game of the Year, and then it came out, and we're like, yeah, no, never mind. We retract.
Cyberpunk, I wanted to play Cyberpunk so bad. I didn't play it right at launch because of the bugs. I held on to it for about 3 months, and then I played it, and Cyberpunk was everything it advertised to be, and it had the best immersive narrative I've ever played in a video game, bar none. Like, you know how they do game awards? Oh, best narrative? Cyberpunk should have won that category, hands down. Hands down.
It already had the negative stigma on it, though.
Yeah, so. I know. So sad. Even though it didn't affect sales. But where is Splendiferous? Splendiferous, where are you? Where are you? Let me find the one I want. Hold on. I found you. I'm just looking for the correct one. So Splendifer says, yeah, so it should be there. So Splendifer's tweeted out his t-shirt. Guys, here it is. In case you're wondering, oh, let me get this so it's more viewable. There we go. So Splendifer is selling this shirt on Steady Gaming 21, I guess. And it says, we bleed green, with a picture of a guy screaming, cyborg screaming. And it says, welcome to the era of Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer. Phil Damas. So there you go. Shout out to Splendiferous. Be sure to show him some love and some support, guys. And, you know, I love interacting with the chat, so I don't really mind advertising this stuff on my little channel. Doggy Dog says, Hi-Fi Rush, Diablo 4, Street Fighter 6, my first half game of the years. You can only pick one, Doggy. You can only have one.
Yeah, it's
Jason
game
Max says,
of the year. It's the game.
Jason Max says, Redfall is my current game of the year. That's right. Hey, if you loved it, you loved it. And let's see. Diablo 4 is my current game of the year when my internet works. Hogwarts Legacy is a close second. Starfield could win me over when early access begins at the end of the month. Hell yeah, can't wait. Splendifer says it's an Xbot t-shirt. Okay, I get it now. I get it. Yeah. And Doggy's already calling his next game of the year. He's saying Starfield 4 and Mortal Kombat 1. So there you are. But Terry, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, it's time for Terry's Indie Spotlight, everybody.
Everybody, so I'm back with another indie spotlight, and this time I'm going to be doing a sequel to a game that I actually had the original game I was on a previous spotlight like a year ago. So I now that the second one is finally out and it's one of my beloved games, I had to do a spotlight on it. I just had to do it. So let's go ahead and we're gonna check this out. Warning though, the trailer's a little obnoxious. It's you'll know what I mean when it starts. It's a little obnoxious, so you know if you headset warning.
Headset warning. Oh my. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, no audio. Can you hear anything? Terry, are you there? Hey, Terry?
Yep.
There's no audio.
A second. I can't hear you over it. What happened?
There is no audio. We can't hear anything.
I have it selected.
Yeah, you're just going to have to restart the share.
Do it over. It broke.
Do it over. Turn the volume up.
Do it over. Because I have it checked. It does say share audio. So try it again.
Let's try it again. Make sure your video is not muted. All right, here we go.
Trust
all right,
me,
we're ready, Terry.
Let's try. My eardrums out. It definitely wasn't muted.
There it is.
Wake up, Dusty! Follow me, buddy! Let's do this party Starfield! Woo! You get my ear! But still not my trust. Maybe you can buy some mood. But tell me, can you change? Woo!
I'm grooving the music. I'm grooving to the music.
You got one good. Do not let me down. If things are really different now. Show me what you got. Wow.
Okay, so Fitman 2, Creed Valley. I had to do this one because Fitman 1, man, that game is so good. Like I love that game. It's so good. And that game was PC only. So now, like, I've been so excited for the sequel coming out, and they actually are putting it on console, so you can get it. You can get it on Xbox, PlayStation, the Switch, and of course Steam. But so I'm excited because now if you are really into like your action adventure games, if you like music, this is a perfect thing for you. It's also going to be puzzle driven, so not for everyone, but I love puzzle games, love them. so it's really good. So guys, you gotta check this out. It's basically so the first one, you were inside like the human mind, and you had to deal with feelings and things. This one, basically the human mind is being overtaken by nightmares, and they're spreading, and you got to stop the spread of these nightmares because now the human mind can't function properly, and that's where you kind of live, is within the human mind. And it's just great. Like, I really can't really tell you, like, just play it. Like, the music is on point, the gameplay is a lot of fun, and if again, it is puzzle driven. So if you're not a puzzle person, then you're gonna want to avoid it. But otherwise, just trust me, it's one of those games that it's not a long game. So just go ahead and give it a try. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's just great. It's $25 on all platforms, but it is available on Game Pass right now, so you can go ahead and at least try it out, see if you like it, and it's also on xCloud as well. So just check it out. It's so fun. Like it might not. It's one of those games where if you look at it, it doesn't look that appealing, but when you play it, it's just trust me, it's a good game. just play it, please. It's so good.
All right. There you go. Play it, guys. Play it. It's so good.
It's so good.
Yeah, I feel that game would just not be for me.
It is an action adventure though too, because there is combat. You do run around, and you have to do actual combat stuff too. So there's puzzles, and there is actual combat. It's just trust me. It's good. It's good.
All right. I believe you. I believe you. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find this. A good thing for our next topic. You know what? Screw it. Let's just go with it. So there has been a resurgence, if you will, driven by Hasbro, saying that they should do a new video game in the Transformers franchise, right? So there's two Transformers games in particular that everybody kind of agrees is great, and that is War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron, right? And the other ones weren't as great, but War for Cybertron got about a 70, 75-ish on Meta, and Fall of Cybertron got an 80-ish, high 70s, low 80s on Meta. But they're still considered really, really good games. And Terry, I just want to know, do you want another Transformers game? Now, honestly, keep in mind, they also made Rise of the Darkspark, which sucked. It got like in the 40s.
Which sucked.
And what was it? Some sort of Beast Wars Transformer game also sucked. So the Cybertron Wars are the good Transformer games that were basically third-person shooters. And sorry for the dark contrast, guys. The gameplay we're watching is a PS3 gameplay. And as you know, PlayStation has darker contrast than Xbox does. And shout out to World of Long Plays for providing this video right here. Terry, Transformers. Okay. Do you want some?
Transformers. I mean, I would be interested in trying them out. Like, I've honestly never played a Transformer game. Like, I like Transformers, but I've never played a video game for Transformers. I'm just not into mechs when it comes to video gaming. So I stay away from anything that's like mech. But I mean, if it's a mech, I don't want it. But I do like Transformers. I did watch the show growing up. Well, the shows growing up, and then the movies are pretty decent. Well, some of them are decent, but I don't know. Like, I've never really heard much hype around any of the video games, honestly. So like, I never bothered. But I mean, if they can bring some of these back, I mean, I would be interested in trying them, especially if they can come to Game Pass, which is I believe is what Hasbro wants, is them to be on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would be fantastic. It would definitely introduce a lot of people to those games that never played them, for sure.
Yeah,
I'm all for it. I'm all for it, and I mean, I do like a third-person shooter, so I feel like I might be able to enjoy it. I feel like usually when I think of like a mech game, there's a lot more like jetpack BS, and I hate that stuff.
jetpack BS.
So I feel like looking at this gameplay, it doesn't seem like they're doing that. So I feel like this is more my style of gameplay.
All right. Well, let's see exactly what Hasbro said. This comes to us from Windows Central. It says Hasbro wants Microsoft and Xbox to bring back Activision's Transformer games. Bullet points, what you need to know. During an interview with the Transformers fan website Transformers World 2005, Hasbro stated a desire to re-release a collection of Transformer games published by Activision into Xbox consoles and Xbox Game Pass, baby.
Game Pass.
Game Pass. And they said these games include the movie tie-in games to the live-action Transformer movies, including High Moon Studios' War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron, and Platinum Games' Transformers Devastation. Transformers is a long-running multimedia franchises, blah, blah, blah. We already know that. All right, update. Activision's comm lead, Lulu Cheng Miservi, shout out to Lulu Cheng, we all love her, recently tweeted a denial that Activision lost the source code for the Transformer games. I was going to say, there's no way. So there you go. So what was also said is, sadly, apparently Activision is not sure what hard drives they're on in their building. When a company eats a company that eats a company, things get lost, and that's very frustrating. Hope that is now the hope is that now that the deal is moving forward with Microsoft and Xbox, that they'll go through all the archives and every hard drive to find it all, because it's an easy Game Pass ad. We want those games to back up for people to have a chance to play. We want those games back up for people to have a play. So, the Hasbro PR person said that he never said that they lost. He just said, they don't know what hard drive it's in. But that he definitely does want it in Game Pass. And as you know, Activision, if you look at Activision, there are no Activision games in Game Pass. They don't like it. Bobby Kotick has been verbally against Game Pass games or putting games on subscription services. So yeah, there you go.
He's about to be out the door, so he don't get a say.
Oh, God, I hope so. I hate him so much.
He don't get a say.
I hate him so much. I think he's the worst gaming CEO of all time. Just between you and me, Terry.
Okay.
Between me, you, and the chat. He's the worst gaming CEO of all time. So there you go. Transformers. What do you... Now that we read exactly what was said, and we know that they're not lost, is this a great game for Game Pass?
Well, they're claiming it's not lost, but yet they still haven't said where they still haven't, said that they are able to do it and they found them. So I feel like they still don't know where they are, or there might be an issue with whatever version, because they might be, old versions that they might have more difficulty trying to transfer over. I don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know, because there's been other articles where Activision has been making statements about it. So I feel like there's something else going on. And I know Activision has a history of putting a lot of their older games in a vault and never to see the light of day again. I feel like these were games that they never intended to, re-release. And so they cast them away somewhere and forgot about them,
Yeah.
So I think, they might actually be misplaced, or in a format that isn't compatible, and it's going to take a little extra effort, So I don't know, but hopefully they can work it out, figure it out, and make it happen. Because if they can make it happen with this, that gives me more hope that they can pull my beloved Star Trek Elite Force out of that vault. That is also, where my game is lost forever. So find it, find it, please.
The game that to me is lost are a bunch of those Sierra Entertainment
Okay.
games. I really loved them. They were more like 4X games, and Activision right now has 0 4X games. 4X games being explore, exploit, exterminate, and something to do with resources. Basically, it's like Civilization, right? So yeah, the fact that there's no 4X games kind of makes me sad, even though they bought a company that literally specializes in 4X. So
throw it in the vault.
Throw it in the vault. Put that
throw it in
bad
the
boy in the
vault.
vault.
That's what Activision does. They throw it in the vault and they forget about it.
Yeah, but could you imagine these games with updated graphics like Transformers War for Cybertron remastered and all that good stuff? And yeah, Hasbro of course wants them to remake this, obviously, because they have an interest in it. It's their baby. Transformers, GI Joe, all those guys are their bread and butter, so they should definitely be interested in making this.
Plus, with the they've found pretty good success with the live action movies they've been pushing out.
And yeah, the last few Transformer movies have been pretty good.
That's introduced a lot of new fans to Transformers, and a lot of the younger generation that didn't grow up on like the 80s cartoons. They got introduced to Transformers by the movies, and then the movies started pushing out new animated series. I can't remember which network has them, but there are some new animated series for the kids to watch. So they've got a whole another couple of the younger generations in here. So to be able to pull these old games out and make them like new again, those younger fans, they would love this.
Yeah, absolutely. Shoot, I would love this. I unfortunately missed out on both of these, but I always heard that they were good. I just never got around to them, and now they're hard to find, and I really do want them. So yeah, I really do want this to come, especially to Game Pass. I mean, because you lose nothing when it comes to the subscription per service you're already paying for. If something's included,
you only lose your time.
Yeah, only daylight. You only lose daylight.
Going through the library of all these games, what should I choose?
Yeah, according to Game Pass counter, we're almost up to 500 games in Game Pass. And there's like games that are leaving that I'm so sad. Like, even though I already finished the campaign to Total War Warhammer 3, I don't want it to leave Game Pass because I love that game. But in my head, I'm like, I already finished it, and since I finished it, I haven't played it. So I don't know. And I love my Warhammer, Total War Warhammer games. I've over 100 hours in each of them, and so it's just, it makes you sad. Like Hollow Knight came out of Game Pass. I beat it on Steam, and now I wanted to beat it on Xbox, but I never did. And now my opportunity to beat it without rebuying the game is gone. Right? So yeah, I'm so sad. What's one game in Game Pass that has left that you were sad left? Because you either didn't make the time to play it, or you don't feel that you played it enough.
No. It was actually an Ubisoft game. Extraction was in Game Pass, and I thought I bought it, but it turns out I didn't buy it. I was just playing it through Game Pass, and I was gonna buy it while I was in Game Pass so I get the discount, and I forgot, and then it left Game Pass, and now it's like I'm kicking myself because I wanted to play it the one day and I didn't have it, so then I had to go out and buy it, and I'm like, well, I should have bought it while it's on Game Pass. I bought it anyway. But I was kicking myself because I thought I had already bought it, so I wasn't thinking about buying it, and then I missed it. But I own it now. But it was just Rainbow Six Extraction. They took that off Game Pass, and I wasn't ready.
I did that with Nier Automata. It came to Xbox, went on sale, didn't pick it up on that sale, so I was waiting for it to get dropped down in price. It comes to Game Pass. I play 2 hours of it on Game Pass. It leaves Game Pass, and I'm like, no. And then it goes on a sale that was just as good as that first sale, because usually initial sales is as good as it gets. And I bought it, and I'm like, I am gonna finish this game, right? I'm gonna finish this game. Yeah, that happened to me too. Splendifer says that it happened to him with Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, great game. One of Doggy's favorite games. He could have stopped talking about it all last year. So yeah, Doggy Dog and his Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's see how the chat feels about Transformers. Wow. Terry, how does the chat feel about Transformers?
It's unanimous that nobody has played these games. So yeah, we all missed it. We all missed out. So let's hope Activision is able to, supply these and they can get them on Game Pass and we can finally play them.
All right. I think it's time for some tin foliage here, Terry.
Okay.
And that is Square Enix's financials. Now, this was reported to us from, let's see. This was from Hasbro Gaming on Twitter. Too bad Twitter doesn't have a reader mode. So you guys are gonna have to bear with my Twitter feed. All right, guys. So tin foliage, but we'll also get to poke fun, in my opinion, which is fantastic. Here we go. So Hasbro Gaming has posted that Square Enix fiscal year 2024 quarter one earnings revenue is up 14.4%. Operating income is negative 78.5%, and net income is down 65.7%. Now, to give you guys an idea of operating income, this is how much money you make after you pay your bills. Okay, and I think he explains it here. Where does he explain it? Here we go. Operating income is profit made after deducting stuff like wages, cost of goods sold, etc. Yeah, that's not a good look. So, basically, profit is down 78.5% on a year where they just launched Final Fantasy 16. And, of course, a week before this news broke, they went to Phil Spencer and said, yo, Phil, Moneybags Spencer, would you like to shake some hands on Final Fantasy 14, which we don't have an exclusivity deal with anybody? Shake the hand, Phil. Come on.
That's like our only moneymaker.
What do you think about the Final Fantasy earnings meeting and the fact also, of course, tinfoil time, Phil, them reaching out to Xbox and Xbox reaching out to them and signing the deal? Correlated? Uncorrelated? What do you think?
Oh, definitely. Because first they started selling off stuff, and we were like, we didn't really understand why they were selling Crystal Dynamics and everything else off for a while. They were like, something's going on. They need money or something, And then they, make this little deal with Microsoft, and then it comes to light that these guys are broke. They're hurting. They're always, and you wouldn't think that they would be hurting because of how successful the entire Final Fantasy franchise is. Like every time they announce a new Final Fantasy game, their stocks go up. So like, how much money are they investing in making these games to where they're down so much? Like, there's definitely some budgeting problems going on here. Someone's they gotta fire their accountant or something, because something, I don't see how they're hurting this bad with the way that literally their stocks go up. Like, people are investing in you because they believe in that franchise. You're getting more money, but yet you don't have more money. You have it's just something's going on. They got some bad leadership going on in there for sure.
I mean, every which way I look at this stock, so the daily stock is down. And I'm just looking here. Weekly stock is down. Monthly stock is down. Yearly stock is down. 5-year stock is down. But they're up to their all-time. So I guess if you've invested for Square Enix for more than 5 years, you're up. Well, how much are you up? You're up 40%. If you were day one, but damn, not a great look. And yeah, I mean, look at it. It just, I'm going to guess this was Final Fantasy 16 release. and this has been post Final Fantasy 16.
I just remember back when
What
they
date did Final Fantasy release?
Don't know.
Let's see. Final Fantasy 16 release date.
Has it been a month yet?
June 22nd. All right, so let's see. Where's June 22nd?
So not
July. Okay, let's go back for the year. June 22nd. All right, so June 22nd it launched. June 23rd they were up here at 46, and since then they're gone down to 42. So there you go. But yeah, I don't know. Square Enix is in a lot of trouble, and I think they are doing the wrong thing by excluding groups of gamers by signing a lot of exclusivity for so many years.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that Square Enix has always been, or has traditionally been, a single platform per game developer. If you really look back at their history, up until Final Fantasy 12, everything they launched was on a single platform. They've never been a multi-platform developer or publisher. And when Final Fantasy 12 went, all the way up to Final Fantasy 15, they were multi-plat. So we got 3 great games on Xbox. And they were doing great, in my opinion. And then the exclusivity deals came in with Final Fantasy 7 Remake. It did good. But since Final Fantasy 7 Remake, I don't think they've done very good. I think Square Enix is stuck in the past. They need to get in modern times and be a multi-platform third-party developer. I mean, if you're going to be third-party, be third-party. It shouldn't matter where your game is to you. You should just put it out there for the opportunity to make money. Because to me, that's the most important thing, is to make money. So yeah, their stuff is down, and they knew it was down, and they're like, you know what? Let's finally put this stuff on Xbox that they've been wanting for 13 years. Which in my opinion is too little too late.
Which is still, if they're down this much, why are they wasting time giving access to old games? They should be releasing the newer stuff to other platforms to try to get some revenue in. They need that revenue. They it's going to cost too much money to develop more games. You need to try to start making some profit off the stuff that's already out there.
Yeah, minimum effort, kind of the low-hanging fruit principle.
Yeah, so like put these other games on other platforms. I mean, a lot of them, have been, on PlayStation for a few years now. There shouldn't be any more contract stuff, for a lot of them, to where you probably could get away with doing it. Just do it. You need to make money, otherwise your company's going under.
Yeah, agreed. The lowest hanging fruit they have is Final Fantasy Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Remake. If they would publish those on competing platforms, aka Xbox, that's the low hanging fruit, because I would buy it. I would buy both of them, and then I'd sell my PS5 because I have no reason anymore to get it. Because I wouldn't sell my PS5, but you know what I'm saying. Like, the reason I have a PS5 is for Final Fantasy and God of War, and so far that's it. Everything else I'm getting on Xbox or my PC.
So 16, there's probably, because that game just came out, only maybe what was it, 2-3 weeks ago. So that game, there's probably still a lot of binding contracts on there, because I agree with Cheo. They do have a new CEO, so 16 is out of his control. They already had all their agreements binding with that one, so that one we will have to wait for it to run out. But 7 Remake, all of the agreements for that ran out.
Probably.
Let's get that going. You know what I mean? Get that going. Because a lot of people would definitely buy that game on Xbox, or is it available on PC even, or is it only on PlayStation?
It just came out to PC like a year ago.
It came out on PC. Okay, I don't know how well it's doing on PC, but yeah, you ought to just release it everywhere you can right now. Let's try to get whatever you can out of it, because Yeah, they need to start. They got to make moves.
They do. Okay. Axel, you're speaking like a true expert, bro. I'm just speaking facts, man. I'm just speaking facts. I love gaming as a hobby, and I love my PlayStation. But if PlayStation is there for the exclusives, so is Nintendo, and they both have great exclusives. But my primary gaming platform is Xbox. Yeah, and PC, obviously, love my PC. I've been a PC gamer since I was 13 years old. I'll never stop being a PC gamer, probably. I've been with PC longer than I've been with Xbox, so. Let's see. Chet Walker says, I think Square Enix is stuck with exclusive contract, but we should see a change by next year. I hope so.
Yeah, once these contracts start falling off, I'm hoping they start, let's push that stuff out, man. Just push it.
Get it out.
The very next day, okay, 16 is no longer exclusive on this date, so we're going to release it everywhere the day after. I'm like, boom. Everybody's got it. Make that money.
I think they said that Final Fantasy VII is forever locked. Remake a forever exclusive.
Can they not renegotiate their contracts? I feel like they should be able to renegotiate.
Yeah. According to this, that Final Fantasy VII exclusivity deal expired in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Something from July 28th. Why is Final Fantasy VII Remake still... why Final Fantasy VII Remake still isn't on Xbox Series X and S? This is coming to us from Game Rant. Let me share this out so we can take this information in together, everybody. This is coming in from Screen Rant, so take that with a huge grain of salt because it's Screen Rant. Let's see.
Well, then
bunch of
during
filler
the
sentences. Sony prevents Final Fantasy VII Remake from coming. According to The Gamer, Microsoft claims that Sony is preventing the release of several popular games on Xbox consoles, which includes Final Fantasy VII Remake. The information comes from Microsoft's response to the UK CMA after Sony's protest regarding the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Microsoft, in turn, tries to defend itself by pointing out that Sony has a stronger lead in the console market due to its extensive exclusive game library, despite the number of companies like Bethesda that Microsoft has recently acquired. Besides preventing Xbox fans from playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, intermission before Final Fantasy VII Rebirths, the exclusion agreement also stopped Bloodborne, Final Fantasy XVI, and Silent Hill 2 remakes from appearing on the console. But it still says that the time is not known. It's unclear why Square Enix decided to limit their player base by accepting the exclusion clause. However, there's a chance that future Final Fantasy VII titles may not appear on Xbox, especially because Square Enix has confirmed Rebirth to be a PS5 exclusive. While it may be possible the game may be out on PC, it seems like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth could be unavailable on Xbox still. One thing's for sure, Final Fantasy VII Remake will not be released on Xbox due to Sony's arrangement with Square Enix. So there you go. It's never going to come. It is never going to come, which pisses me off. Just saying. Yeah. And shout out to Dan the Man Cunningham. You are the real MVP. Thank you so much for joining us. He says, hey, all, how's everybody doing today? Well, I just got sad. I don't know about you. Let's see. Me too. I like gaming on my PC, but I don't love gaming on my PC. Not till I get a 3090 or soon just good enough not to give me lag. Yeah, I'm looking at a new build here soon too. Shout out to Ice Queen Gaming. She joins us. Thank you so much for joining us, Ice Queen Gaming. She says, hey. And One Punch Jedi comes in. He says, I think Final Fantasy 16 will come to Xbox in 2024 or 25. But a lot of the other titles also could be 25 and after because of the previous CEO's dealings. That's right. Let's see. And Ice Cream Gaming says, I'm okay and I won't be around next Sunday. I'm away on a holiday for 1 week. Hey, enjoy your holiday.
Ooh.
That's awesome. And shout out to RWK88. He says, good morning, y'all. Sorry I'm late. Good morning, RWK88. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. He said he stayed up watching Scream 6. Oh, hope you didn't have nightmares. But there you go, guys. Anything else you want to talk about, Terry? We still have about 15 minutes left. Do you want to talk about the controller?
We could probably do the controllers.
Yeah, the controller. Let me find. Go ahead and start us off. I'll find something.
All right, you guys. So for those of you, if you have an Xbox controller, at some point, with all the wear and tear, all that heavy competitive gaming that you guys do, things break. And what do we end up having to do? We have to spend another $60 to $100 some dollars to get that dang controller replaced. Well, no longer. Xbox has come up with a plan, and that is to release parts. So now you can buy button kits and shells and all different kinds of components for their controllers, so you can just replace the thing you need to replace. So you don't have to drop $100 and some dollars on an Elite controller anymore. You can just buy whatever part broke. So I think this is fantastic because these things are crazy expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So
there you go. So yeah, it says Microsoft has started selling controller parts on its online store. Owners of both the Xbox Elite Series 2 wireless controller and standard Xbox wireless controller can head to the Microsoft store right now to buy replacement boards, sticks, buttons, covers, and more. Now, if your shoulder buttons are broken or your sticks are drifting, it means you don't have to rely on third-party sources for parts and directions to attempt a repair that could be much cheaper than replacing controllers that can cost $159 to $180 brand new. The Elite controller repair kits range in price from $23.99 for button sets to $59.99 for a replacement board. As you'd expect, prices are lower for standard controllers, starting at $19.99 and $39.99 for the PCA.
And that replacement board is going to be for your Elite controller, your $180 controller. So that's what that's going to be for, not your $60 controller.
It says replacement top cases are available in black and white variants, as are buttons. Sorry, fluorescent color fans. And iFixit also does it. So let's see. Says you can head over to the Xbox store right now. Let's see. Let's go to iFixit. And there you go. Here's the parts. Buttons, triggers, boards, covers, sticks, joysticks, the covers.
And this way you get official Microsoft parts. You know they're going to fit right versus taking that risk of getting some cheap knockoff part and then it doesn't fit right and then throws everything off. So this is good.
This is actually pretty awesome because one of my controllers is starting to get not stick drift, but I call it like this moves up and down by itself without clicking. It doesn't click by itself. I still have to push it, but it's not as stiff as it used to be. So I might replace that. So that will be cool for me. And let's see. Hell yeah, about time. They're trying to put all these little stores out of business like eBay, that garage sale website. I'll never get over that he called it the garage sale website. Yeah. So that's pretty sweet. Guys, do you need to repair your controller and are you going to get any replacement parts? Terry, what part are you going to order?
Well, right now I don't need any. My controllers are in good shape. I take pretty good care of my stuff. I always, like I said, I always buy like these little cheap little rubber things to put on my thumbsticks, so I don't have to worry about. I always buy these little things. Because otherwise, the tops of your thumbsticks get wore down, and so I do that as just to protect them and stuff. Like these are actually the ones I used on my Xbox One. I just transferred them over when I got my Series X, so that way I can keep my controller in good working order. And I take good care of them. I'm not a gamer that's tossing my controller in rage, and I don't ever. It always just sits here on my desk. I don't leave it laying around on the floor, or I don't have kids drooling on it. My stuff lasts. I take good care of it. So I don't need any parts, and I don't have any mechanical issues right now. None of my buttons stick. I don't have any drifting or anything like that happening. So right now I don't need any parts. But I like the idea that if I do need a part, I can spend maybe $15 and get the part versus $60 to replace the controller. So that's good.
There you go. That's awesome. Let's see. Shout out to DE. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. DE says, screws on the PlayStation stand? That's hard to do. But Xbox controller repairs? Easy.
The hardest part is just getting the cover off because these things are a pain. Like
I hate it that you have to unglue the Elite controllers. I hate that you have to undo the glue of the rubberized padding because I love that padding. Like, and you'll never get it back on as good as Xbox does. Trust me.
Like I have like a special trim kit just for controllers, and it's still a pain in the rear to get these freaking things to come apart. Like I hate taking them apart.
There you go. Splendiferous says, I get my stuff from iFixit and eBay as well. There you go. And Doggy Dog says, if my controller breaks, I just order a new one from Amazon and send the broken one back to them. LOL, that's my warranty. Wow.
Wow.
That's so funny. That's so funny. You got to use a special glue. It's not a matter of the glue, Splendiferous. It's a matter of the positioning, the stretching, all kinds of stuff. I mean, maybe it's because it's already been used that it just never, this rubberized grip just never quite feels the same. So yeah, I'm just sad about it. Don't you have to desolder the sticks and solder new ones on? It looks like you can just pop the old stuff off. Where's the iFixit? YouTube tweeted about the new program.
It's right above the video.
You know what? Let me just. There we go. It looks like you could just snap this out and snap it back in. I mean, it even comes with the.
It's a lifetime guarantee.
That's right. It looks pretty decent. It looks like you don't have to desolder anything, do you? Oh, no, you do. It has the little solder joints right here. I see them right there. Yep, on the bottom. Oh, right there. On the bottom. Those are definitely solders. You do have to solder the crap out of it. But it's like DE said.
It says right
Xbox
there.
Controller repair, easy.
Yeah, they have a disclaimer. It says that it requires soldering.
Yeah. So there you go. Requires soldering. But this is from iFixit. I wonder what the official Xbox website does. Let's see. Xbox. Let's see. Official Xbox controller parts. It should give me a link to Microsoft. Aha. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Let me find. Go way ahead. Here we go. So official Xbox controller parts. These are official. And I guess you don't have to desolder anything. You can replace the whole board. I mean, look at this. You could just replace the board. It comes with the sticks already on it if you don't want to solder. So it's just a bunch of screws. You got some covers. Everybody's been buying the covers apparently.
Probably all
it looks
cracked
like you
from
can
all
just buy
that
the whole
controller
board.
tossing. You know, all cracked.
Yeah, there you go. eBay is the #1 place to get the parts, Axel. Yeah. Whenever my Xbox controller gets stick drift, I just blame Nintendo. Wow. It's a pain. I forget what the PS5 ones are, 22 ohm or 8 kilos or 10 kilo ohm pots. Yeah. Let's see. I tried fixing my controller. If it broke, it would be in worse shape after I got done with it. Only one way to learn, buddy. I mean, take it from Terry. She just had to drill a hole in the car.
Yep. Sometimes you got to do drastic things.
Jacob Coogan says, if a controller gets stick drift, I just fix it with a new one. And did the parts cost more than the new controller? No. I mean, probably all of them together do. But
so they were looking at that board. So that board's $60 for the Elite 2, which is $180. So you could pay $60 to replace that whole board, or you could pay $180 to replace the controller.
Yeah. So let's see. $26 plus $60. So what are we up to? $86 plus buttons, another $24. So we're up to $100 plus the PCBA, another $50. So it ends up being almost the same price, actually.
I mean, if you're gonna rebuild the whole thing, then I would just buy a new one. But if you just need one thing,
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to do that because usually parts are more. One part is fine, but if you're replacing the whole damn thing, yeah, you're gonna have a bad time. Okay. Let's see. So there you go. And Splendiferous says, Jago, send me your old ones. That's right. Splendiferous does his own repair. If you guys need repairs,
and then he can sell them on eBay. You'll fix them and resell them. There you go.
Sell it on that secondhand garage sale.
Make that money.
You make it, Splendiferous. You make it. All right, guys. But I think that's going to do it for today. I don't think there's much else we can talk about other than, I really love the fact that we talked about some games today instead of just stuff. Instead of acquisitions and other stuff like that.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm very happy that we talked about some games. And guys, thank you so much for joining us. We wouldn't be able to do this show here without you guys, the chat. That's why we really appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, guys, hit that thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe and share this show. Share out the channel with your friends. I do 2 shows a week. The Iconic Video Games Podcast on Friday nights and Good Morning Xbox on Sunday mornings. And with that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I'm Axel1324.
And I'm Cool Cat Terry.
And we'll catch you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.